Here's a question for you. What do crashing waves, boomboxes, clean laundry, and soccer balls have in common? And I'll give you a hint. The answer's in one of these blocks. Now, you've seen one of these before. It's the periodic table. It shows us the more than 100 pure elements that make up just about everything in the world. And one of them, good old element number 17, is chlorine. Chlorine helps build all kinds of things like laundry bleach, soccer balls, boom boxes, even oceans. Manufacturers use chlorine to produce sporting goods, plastics, electronics, you name it. That's because chlorine's a rather lively guy as elements go. Chlorine teams up with other building block elements like oxygen, hydrogen, carbon, sodium, and iron to create things you use all the time. And if you don't believe me, you just try living in a house without chlorine. Achoo! These darn allergies. All I need's a couple of allergy pills, and I'll feel like a new person. Chlorine compounds are used in a lot of pharmaceuticals, and no chlorine means that many of the cosmetics and perfumes we're used to would vanish. Never mind that. Let's go get something to eat. Now, what am I in the mood for? Some fruit? Nah. Let's check out the fridge. Oh, sorry, Fido. Okay, what do we have in here? Let's see. Leftover spaghetti, chicken, apple pie. Whoa! Chlorine and related compounds are used to make many kinds of containers, from sandwich wrap to ceramics and glassware. If I can't eat, I'm going to listen to music. But without chlorine, there might not be any stereos, computers, no TVs. Chlorine compounds are used in the manufacturing of many of these products. Well, what about the garage? Without chlorine, you probably wouldn't have a car. You wouldn't have tires either. No vinyl garden hose, raincoat, or vinyl chairs. No vinyl at all. It's made from chlorine. Now, actually, some of those things could exist without chlorine. They just look and perform a lot differently. Like this car, for instance. Now, without chlorine, the whole thing wouldn't disappear. Just many of its parts. Like the seats, the dashboard, all of the hoses under the hood. The point is, chlorine's in a lot of things we use every day. Here's another question for you. If chlorine's in so many things, where exactly is it? How does it get inside of stuff? Where's the chlorine in this soccer ball? Well, this is where a little bit of chemistry comes in handy. Many soccer balls are made of vinyl. Now, see this long chain of chemical elements? It just happens to be the formula for vinyl. All these H's symbolize hydrogen. The C's are for carbon, and here's some good old element number 17, chlorine. If you just look at this formula, you may think there isn't too much chlorine in vinyl, but actually, the vinyl used to make this ball is nearly 57% chlorine by weight. The compounds chlorine builds, they can be hot or cold, a gas, liquid or solid. They can smell like bleach or have no odor at all. Now, that's pretty interesting to a chemist, but why should you care about what chlorine can do? Well, for starters, I'll give you 3 good reasons. Clean water. For fooling around, washing up, or drinking down. Water treatment plants all over the country use chlorine as a disinfectant to kill the harmful bacteria in our water supply. Bacteria that in the past caused deadly epidemics of cholera and typhoid fever. But now, our water is safe to drink. Unfortunately, that's not the case in some developing countries. I'm sorry to say that there are places in the world where people are suffering and dying because they're drinking contaminated water. Luckily, things are changing as chlorine is slowly introduced as a water disinfectant. Nutritious food is another good reason to care. Chlorine is used in crop protection chemicals, chemicals that help farmers raise better crops and produce more food. Remember, back in the house, you saw that chlorine is used in many pharmaceuticals like vitamins and allergy medicines? Well, it's also used in antibiotics and medications that fight leukemia and other diseases. Chlorine is important because scientists have found so many remarkable uses for it, and they're finding more all the time. Building block chemistry is making our world a better place to live. One last question. Why let a bunch of scientists have all the fun? Let your mind go wild and imagine what active elements like chlorine could build. They really are the most incredible building blocks on Earth.